Welcome to the Benning Report. Coming up in this edition, the Maneuver Center of Excellence welcomes a new commanding general.
And soldiers take on the Armor Challenge.
Later, take a dip in the newly renovated MWR pool. Welcome to the Benning Report. I'm Sarah Tate.
And I'm Nate Snook with the Fort Benning Public Affairs Office. Thanks for watching. The Maneuver Center of Excellence bids farewell to Commanding General Major General H.R. McMaster during a change of command ceremony, welcoming Major General Austin Scott Miller.
The Maneuver Center of Excellence change of command took place on the National Infantry Museum parade field. Friends, families, soldiers, and supporters gathered to bid farewell to Major General H.R. McMaster and welcomed Major General Austin Scott Miller.
Our Army is a living historical community. And for those of us who continue to serve, for Scott Miller, myself, and others, it's our duty to preserve the legacy of excellence we have inherited from those who have gone before us.
General Miller replaces General McMaster as the 4th commander of the MCoE and the 54th commander to take the reins at Fort Benning. General Miller previously served as the commander of NATO Special Operations Component Command, Afghanistan.
As I come in here today, I'm about as excited as this assignment as I've been of any assignment I've had in the U.S. military.
Lieutenant General Kevin Mangum and Command Sergeant Major Timothy Gooden were present to help pass the command to the hands of Fort Benning's newest commanding general. General Miller greeted the Fort Benning community for the first time with words of wisdom for his new Army family.
Coming home to Fort Benning is a pretty special assignment for me. There's a lot of reasons, but when you break it all down, it's the people, it's the missions. When you couple those together, then you add the community, that makes it a very special place, and those are the ingredients for a great assignment.
General McMaster heads to Joint Base Langley-Eustis, where he will serve as the director of the Army Capabilities Integration Center, as General Miller leads the Maneuver Center of Excellence into the future. David Wright, Fort Benning TV.
Empowering young soldiers to be good leaders starts from the top. In this series of Why I Serve, I introduce you to Lieutenant Colonel Dawson Plummer.
You are men now. When you first came here, you were boys.
According to the Department of Defense statistics, Lieutenant Colonel Dawson Plummer is among the small percentage of minorities that serve in his field. Minorities make up less than 17% of the 4,000 officers that serve throughout the Armor Force. Plummer admits that as a young officer, he faced discrimination, but was able to overcome the adversity, helping him set a path to success and create a trail for others to follow.
All comes down to today. You getting on that tank, you loading that tank, driving that tank, and firing that tank, and killing the enemy, or? Yes, sir!
As you continue to move up, and you look at a corporate view of the military, and then you see certain things, you're able to influence the dynamic, you're able to influence the command climate, so that way discrimination is limited and sometimes even negated. It's very important to reinforce that there's no white, black, green, yellow, whatever color you want to be, no race, religion, creed, or anything of that matter. We're all brothers and sisters in the Army. We're all here to serve. I like to say we're all just different shades of green.
Knowing what these young Army soldiers will face in their careers gives this commander the ammunition to mentor and motivate.
The mobile protected firepower and the fact that we actually are at the tip end of the spear. In other words, we're the combat arm of decision. We're the ones that the Army calls in to make a statement saying that when you put a tank on the ground, that sends a clear message to the enemies that the United States is not playing and the United States Army is not playing.
The force has faced the challenge of recruiting minorities into the armor field, and Plummer feels that it needs to be tackled at every level.
Commanders and leaders can show that and reinforce that it doesn't matter who or what you are, but how you perform, then that's what would motivate people.
And along with motivation and drive, Plummer confirms that success will follow.
You work hard, regardless, you're going to get promoted. If you don't work hard, you're not going to get promoted. And that's what I really enjoyed about the Army. as well as the professionalism and being around soldiers that have the same idea, same purpose, and same goals. And we all work together.
Sarah Tate, Fort Benning TV.
During the summer months, the heat Fort Benning soldiers endure during training is a constant concern. David Wright explains what Fort Benning units are doing to identify and help prevent heat-related injuries.
In the summer months, temperatures on Fort Benning can stay in the 90s for weeks and often climb above 100. The heat should not be seen as an opportunity to measure one's toughness. Instead, it poses a real danger that must be afforded special consideration all over post.
The issue with heat is that if the training's out in the sun, training too long, they get dehydrated, and then they lose consciousness, they can pass out, and that becomes an issue with their heart. It can be fatal. Heat can be fatal.
The southern United States is a very humid environment. That humidity only adds to the heat index and can make summer training that much more dangerous. It is a primary concern for programs of instruction throughout the Maneuver Center, and training schedules are commonly adjusted in consideration of the threats the heat poses.
Here at 4th Ranger Training Battalion, organizationally, we take a lot of proactive steps when you talk about mitigating the risk associated with training in hot weather. We take a look at the cumulative effects that training events have on the students and then apply risk mitigation measures to ensure that we're conducting rigorous training safely.
Those measures can include such things as briefing students on seasonal hazards and uniform modifications. According to athletic trainer Mallory Tittle, there is just one very simple piece of advice.
Drink water. A lot of them, when you ask them how much water they drank, and say it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they've only drank 1 Camelback. No, you want to drink 2 or 3 by then, especially now because it's getting really hot.
The Warrior Athletic Training Program is currently researching heat-related injuries, as it is an annual concern for Fort Benning. The results of this research will be available by August. David Wright, Fort Benning TV.
Coming up next, a physical challenge that's not for the weak. An early morning workout consisting of a ruck march, obstacle course, and a fast run isn't considered a typical PT session. Melissa Bell brings us the Armored Challenge and who was able to complete this grueling task.
Armor soldiers gathered before dawn to prove they have what it takes to compete in the Armor Commandant's Challenge.
What we're trying to do is really promote physical fitness from a functional perspective. We're trying to promote excellence in terms of strength. We're trying to promote excellence in terms of agility and also in terms of endurance.
To send this message, Armor School's Commandant challenged Armor soldiers to a morning full of 30 burpees, 15-foot rope climbs, pull-ups, and a painstaking water jug carry.
All right, let's go. 2 cans, 1 lap. Come on, let's go. Hurry up. 2 cans.
They could put down the water jugs at any time. However, carrying 2 water jugs that weigh roughly around 40 pounds, running 400 meters, it's not an easy task.
From there, soldiers completed a 2.5-mile ruck run to a grueling obstacle course, where the Tarzan spelled disaster for some.
Oh, no.
Competitors then donned their running shoes for a 5-mile run to the finish.
I'm just glad to get to the run now. Take some pressure off the arms.
You really have to step up, and there are people who are very, very much committed to excellence and fitness, and you see that in their performance today. It's very inspiring and encouraging to see it in our soldiers.
Physical fitness for a soldier is critical. The environments a soldier is expected to operate in require that they remain physically fit. This challenge is meant to be a part of inspiring and building that physical resiliency in soldiers and leaders.
I think I did all right. The Commandant beat me by about 3 minutes, so my goal is to keep up with him, but he definitely knows what he's doing when it comes to this course.
Beats going to work and then getting a pretty good workout out of it, so I know my unit will be pretty proud.
Work on your endurance. I try to run every day, every morning, and I think that was key to my success.
Melissa Bell, Fort Benning TV.
The key to improving training is to find ways to add realism while teaching soldiers to train as we fight. Technology being used at the Clark Simulation Center on Fort Benning is doing just that. David Wright takes a closer look.
Representatives from the U.S. Army Program Executive Office for Simulation Training and Instrumentation, or STRI, visited Fort Benning recently for a squad overmatch study at Clark Simulation Center. The purpose of the visit is data collection, as STRI seeks feedback from squads as they go through virtual reality scenarios in the Dismounted Soldier Training Simulators. The DSTS was designed to build resiliency within soldiers by incorporating the top 11 stressors identified as contributing to post-traumatic stress disorder. The idea is to introduce these combat stressors in training so that soldiers do not freeze up on the battlefield.
Bravo team, stack on the stairwell.
Graduated exposure, ramping it up more and more and more, and creating as realistic a world as we can when they go out to live. And hopefully we put them in that environment where they learn from it and are experiencing realism in training.
Sergeant Major Higgs says the program is being developed to address an observed gap in training and believes this technology will prove vital to building resiliency. The ability to understand the human terrain is vital, and so developing advanced situational awareness skills is an important element to the squad overmatch study. Trainers control game avatars, allowing soldiers to engage in tactical questioning and to pick up on nonverbal cues.
No, I did not take this building. I was outside.
Squads then headed out to the Combined Arms Combat Training Facility to apply these tactics to a field exercise using interactive targetry. Video projections of actor-controlled avatars allow for live dialogue and ASA application.
I have reason to believe you're not being truthful with me right now.
No, please, I am just cooking dinner for family.
These targets are also equipped with weapon sensors similar to laser tag, which grant the capacity for these encounters to go kinetic if needed.
We want them to experience and apply what they're learning along the way, and we go back in AAR to make sure they understood what they're doing, and then we get their feedback. Did that help or not? Were you able to apply what you learned earlier in the education portion and what you drilled on in the drill portion to the scenario that you were in right now?
STRI's mission is to apply technologies to optimize human performance by introducing stressors and realistic training, building advanced situational awareness skills and resiliency. The data they collected during this squad overmatch study will prove vital as they move forward. David Wright, Fort Benning TV.
After the break, Fort Benning wants to hear from you. But first, Fort Benning's Picture This. Have you had excellent customer service around post and wanted to pass along the recognition? Katie Cook explains how you can convey your comments and concerns with the interactive customer evaluation in a matter of minutes.
If you've ever heard someone talk about making a nice comment, but you don't know what that means, the Interactive Customer Evaluation is a program where Fort Benning consumers submit comments about their customer service experience and more.
And it's a web-based application for reporting and receiving feedback so that we can go back to the senior leadership and let them know where we need, possibly manpower and other resources to improve customer satisfaction levels on the installation.
There are 327 service providers here on post, and it takes about 5 minutes of your time to submit an ICE comment. You can either go online, call up ICE, or come to one of these kiosks and fill one out. Once an ICE comment is submitted, it is reviewed by numerous people.
Typically what happens, it goes to the service provider manager and there's other people. Sometimes directors like to see them, so they're in the system as well. And it goes directly to email. It's not a web-based system where it just goes there and sits until somebody goes into the system.
The system is used as a cost-benefit analysis to keep consumer approval above 90%. Last year alone, Fort Benning had 31,000 submitted ICE comments, giving the post a 96% approval rating.
People that are going above and beyond, we like to know about that. We have certain services on Fort Benning. Every time I pull it up, I look at, I feel like I know some of these people because of the great comments that we get. We get incredible feedback about so many of our services on Fort Benning.
Not only do ICE comments provide helpful feedback on customer service trends, but it helps identify and correct issues.
It reports from the ICE system, and they can look at customer satisfaction levels and determine where we do have performance issues where they need to be corrected.
ICE comments don't just benefit one person, but everyone. Their goal is to improve the quality of life on Fort Benning. Whether you have a wonderful customer service experience or just want to give feedback about something on post, submit an ICE comment and your voice will be heard. Katie Cook, Fort Benning TV.
The Armed Services Blood Program is a valuable resource for the military as it provides life-saving blood for service members, veterans, and their family members. Melissa Bell takes us to a recent blood drive to show us how the Army is saving money and saving lives thanks to you.
Fort Benning soldiers and civilians lined up to give the gift of life at a blood drive held at the Maneuver Center of Excellence's headquarters building. While so many line up every day to give this gift across the country, today's blood drive is unique in that this blood will go directly to soldiers, veterans, and their family members, thanks to the Armed Services Blood Program.
If you have a special need to give blood to a warfighter, to a service member, to their family, if you want to help out the United States military in their blood supply, then definitely give to the Armed Services Blood Program.
The Armed Services Blood Program is the only blood program that directly benefits the military at no cost. If resources are low, this life-saving blood must then be purchased from third-party organizations like hospitals and the Red Cross. Currently holding only 1% of this market, the Armed Services Blood Program is looking for more donors.
They have gone through so much, and it's imperative that we do our part in providing something for them in exchange for their sacrifices. I believe the small 5 minutes on the bed is not comparable pretty much to what they go through. So I do encourage everyone to give.
With 70 units of blood collected at this drive, this blood has the potential to save 140 lives, whether they be downrange or here at home station. Donations can be as easy as walking into a local Armed Services blood center, or even scheduling a blood drive at your unit where you provide the location and they do all the rest.
Reach out to us, definitely. We've always struggled trying to get units on board. I know training is hectic, but we would be more than willing to meet you halfway. We'll go out there, we have mobile teams that come out, and we can schedule at a time that's best for you to schedule the drive. We definitely encourage anybody and everybody to come out and donate with us.
To find out more about donating to the Armed Services Blood Program, visit their website at militaryblood.dod.mil. Melissa Bell, Fort Benning TV.
Coming up next, future soldiers in the making. What summer camp do you know of that has trench warfare and landmine navigation on the agenda? David Wright introduces us to some aspiring soldiers as they endure an intense, fun-filled camp at the National Infantry Museum.
It's summertime at the National Infantry Museum, and that's always meant day camps for kids 9 to 15 years old. But for the first time, they've dared to take on the challenge of 6, 7, and 8-year-olds.
They're very energetic. They have much more energy than the older kids and a lot more energy than we have. So it's been fun keeping up with them and keeping them moving.
These platoons of young soldiers are finding out exactly what Army life is really about. The day starts promptly at 0800 or 8:30 or whenever their parents drop them off with a proper flag ceremony. Then it's straight to a grueling physical training regimen as they endure the vicious abuse of the drill sergeants.
1, 2, 3, 1.
In the classroom, these soldiers must become experts on the history of the infantry, from the Revolutionary War all the way through World War I, with an emphasis on uniforms and emergency pouch construction. Then, these soldiers engage in a field exercise, stressing their knowledge of fire prevention, landmine navigation, and trench warfare. Bucket brigades were historically key factors in firefighting tactics. These are recreated with accurate Revolutionary War era relay races. Landmine navigation is a vital part of any soldier's training, as is trust building among battle buddies.
Keep going forward.
It can be a matter of life or death, and these warriors clearly understand that. The culminating exercise is a live-fire trench warfare engagement. Battle lines are drawn as these soldiers experience the most harrowing aspect of World War I for themselves.
Well, we obviously go in slots, and then we have water balloons, and then we're supposed to throw them. But we have to cover our heads to make sure we not get hit.
Day camp at the National Infantry Museum is quickly over, but the lessons learned this week will help these soldiers as they reintegrate with the civilian population. One force, one fight. David Wright, Fort Benning TV.
If you're looking for a place to kick back, soak up some rays, or take a dip in a cool pool, look no further. Katie Cook gives you the 101 about the newly renovated MWR outdoor pool and breezeway.
With temperatures on the rise this summer, there's no better way to cool off than by taking a dip into the newly renovated MWR pool, just outside of the Benning Club.
You know, this pool has been here since the 60s, late 60s, early 70s. It was high time for renovation. It came to the point where we actually had to close it down, renovate entirely, and what we wanted to do was add some of those features that some of our other pools don't have, the splash park for the kids, the spouts and the running area.
The renovation was a 3-year project and well worth the wait. In addition to the splash park, the facility also has a volleyball pit and a fun cabana-style hangout.
We're finding it's very popular right now with the World Cup and the ball games, soldiers enjoying themselves. It is actually a breezeway. There's fans. It's situated between the two buildings, so it offers a comfortable, cool, shaded place for folks to relax.
The breezeway offers an escape from the summer heat, providing cold refreshments and a full menu of snacks, hamburgers, and pizza. The pool not only caters to adults, it provides a little something for everyone.
I like that I get to spend time with my family here. Yeah.
As a parent, of course, I appreciate the fact that we have the splash park and the kiddie pool right next to the pavilion, so moms can sit and relax in the shade as the little ones are playing in the pool.
The breezeway pool also offers 3 25-yard lap lanes for those who want to focus on fitness. For more information on swimming lessons, classes, and hours of operation, be sure to visit the MWR homepage at benningmwr.com. Katie Cook, Fort Benning TV.
Now, as much as I love swimming, you can catch me hanging out at the cabana.
Well, there's plenty to eat and drink there. Just make sure you wait 15 minutes before you get back in the pool.
For hours of operation for Fort Benning pools, make sure to check out MWR's homepage at benningmwr.com. And that will bring this edition of the Benning Report to an end.
But you can watch these stories and others on youtube.com/BenningTV or at benning.army.mil.
And you can also like us on Facebook.
From the Public Affairs Office, thanks for watching.